So in Indigenous North American beliefs, there's so many different peoples and nations that it varies slightly between each one. But what kind of defines Indigenous people and also traditional ways of being is this tie to the landscapes that people are in. So you couldn't take their culture and it would be the same in a different location. So what you get from that is relationship with all of the different animal people and plant people and different types of beings in that area. And you begin to have relationships. So there is a belief of kinship. So rather than we're humans and everything nature, like the butterflies you see behind me or the sculpture of the bird, all exist outside of human life in this thing called nature. But actually, in many Indigenous worldviews, especially North American, is this idea that we are a part of that relationship, a part of that world. And so when you look at those different cultures and those different relationships, you could treat your relationship with plants, with animals, like you might another human being, and especially a friend. So thinking about how can I help these plants? How can I help these animals? And what is my role? And sometimes our role is to leave them alone. But sometimes, especially if it is a plant that has grown over thousands and thousands and thousands of years to interact with humans, just like sometimes we hear, oh, these plants need birds to eat them to spread their seeds, or they need bees and butterflies and pollinators to spread them to make them grow more. Humans also have those relationships with plants, not all of them, but we do have that relationship in the past, and plants have come to know us as being a part of those landscapes. So Indigenous beliefs, and depending on the different plants in the landscape, is they might have a relationship, such as sweetgrass or strawberries or medicine plants, as well as the seeds we eat. So it's thinking about what is your role to keep that place healthy and what isn't. So it might be that there's other, let's say, animal people and animal beings that are better at nurturing and taking care of and having stewardship over trees or rivers. And so you'd let beaver build the dams. You'd let beaver create those pools of water. We don't necessarily need to do that. So it's also knowing where your purposeful relationship is. And so that's where you get a lot of learning as well. So if you look at Indigenous storytelling, animals will feature, plants will feature, because they came before us, long before us, and helped to grow those areas. So they know more. So there's also a careful attention to watching plants and animals, to understand how to behave in these areas and learn from them so that we can reciprocate, which means to give back to those landscapes.